Yeah, good morning, all of you. I think we should start now. Okay. So today we are going to this is the lecture of mechatronics. So we are going to start. Okay, I'm going to start by today, and hope you all are. Is it visible to all of you? I hope so. Right.
Yes, sir.
So far what we have studied, I must discuss those. Okay, so already we have gone through the pneumatic system. We have gone through the what is the pneumatic system and what are the important components of the pneumatic systems, and the component including air filter, compressor, air cooler. Okay, and I individually I already told you the uh, told you the functions of individual component which is used into the pneumatic system, right? uh, yeah, continuously the peoples are coming. Okay, so let's see. We know the function of the dry air control valves, air actuators, electric motors, and the receiver tank. What are their individual functions? I already have discussed you. Okay, so okay. Okay, so I already told you how the components of the pneumatic component of the pneumatic systems has been arranged, has been assembled in a system, and all the components assembled together and form a system of pneumatic. So first system governed by the pneumatic system, right? So you must see, and I already have discussed. So just you just keep in the mind wherever it has been asked to you to sketch, wherever it has been asked to you to sketch those or draft those pneumatic system diagram or pneumatic systems explanation. So you must keep the block diagram associated with that. Like that may be like this, that may be like previous slides I already told you. Okay, so accordingly you may sketch it. Okay, and already I discussed the advantage of the pneumatic systems. Okay, already I told you the advantages of the pneumatic system, that is availability, that is the transportation, that is the storage, that is the temperature, cleanness. Okay, I already told you I already told you the exhaust. I already told you the pneumatic system is neat and clean system than any other system so far. Okay, so the leakage may happen. That will not spoil our surface area. That will not spoil our surface area, right? Okay. In case of the hydraulic, if leakage will going to be takes place, so the oil will be sprayed on the surface, and spare time with your you have to spare time with your shop floor, and they must be clean. Okay, so these are the some of the advantage I already told you. I already told you. So before discussing this, I must tell you, pneumatic system. I told you pneumatic systems are pressurized air. Pneumatic system are what? They are using the pressurized air to transmit and control the power. To transmit and control the power. So whatever the air we are using in the form of the fluid, so what should be their characteristics? Why we are using the air? Okay, so air is used as a fluid because of their characteristics, because of their because of their goodness. Okay, so first thing is that why we should use air? So it is safe. What? It is safe. It is less expensive and readily available. Okay, air is available in plenty and everywhere without cost, without any cost, and it can be inducted and exhausted. It can be inducted and exhausted to the atmosphere. It can be it can be inducted and exhausted directly to the atmosphere. Okay, it can be inducted or exhausted directly to the atmosphere, and a return line is not necessary as in case of the hydraulic. Since in hydraulic system, so far we have studied, in hydraulic system there is a return valve and there is a return pipe. Okay, so the excess quantity of the oil returned back to the storage of the tank. So same is not valid over here because the storage is not mandatory. The return air or the return pressurized air is not mandatory to keep. Okay. Why it is so? Because it is available in free of cost, it is available readily to everywhere, and it is available free of cost in plenty. Okay, in plenty it is available free of cost. That's what return pipe is. Return pipe is not mandatory in this case. So you just keep in the mind. It's so just keep in the mind. So air can be injected and exhausted directly to the atmosphere, and a return line is not necessary, which is the same into the hydraulic system. Okay, in hydraulic system, I already told you, in hydraulic system, we must have to keep the return pipe so that we will reuse again and again. The fuel we will reuse again and again. But here it is entirely different. Here it is entirely different. Why it is so? Why it is entirely different? Because storage is not a big deal. So the return pipe is not required because it is available in plenty, free of cost, and readily available everywhere. So that's what these are the characteristics for what we are using the air. It is a safe, it is less expensive and readily available. It can be inducted and exhausted directly to the atmosphere. And the return line is not necessary. Return line is not necessary. You are getting what I told you. Return line is not necessary. Why not necessary? Why not necessary? Because it is available in the plenty, and it cannot harm us. It cannot enhance the cost associated with them, right? Okay. So as per nuclear waste, we can directly exhaust air to the atmosphere because they are not having any contaminants. They are not having any impurities that cannot be directly exhausted to the atmosphere. That cannot be directly exhausted to the atmosphere. But if you're talking about, if all are familiar about the nuclear waste or nuclear power plant, the nuclear waste, after the reaction has been completed, the nuclear waste must be kept in a specific place because the waste of nuclear power plant is very dangerous. They are having the radiation that can damage the life of the people or human beings, those who are residing beside those areas. Okay, it can cover a large area. So in order to establish nuclear power plant, we have to manage it properly. That where we are going to dispose of the nuclear waste. But in case of the pneumatic system, we did not have any kind of headache to exhaust it directly to the atmosphere because they don't have any kind of impurity. They don't have any kind of contaminants that can harm us, that can harm our atmosphere. Right? That's what. These are the properties of the air by which we are using as a pneumatic system. Before discussing some other aspect, we must have to know how do we compare the pneumatic system with the hydraulic system, and which one is better and why. This is very important question. Many times this has been asked in your examination, and in interview also. Many of the times they will ask question like this: how do you compare the pneumatic system and the hydraulic system? Which one is better and why?
Hello.
Which one is better and why? Okay. Yeah. Is there any difficulties? Is there any ambiguities that you are getting? Is it audible enough? Students?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So may I proceed further? In pneumatic system we are using the compressed air. In hydraulic system we are using the oil, right? So what should be the primary difference? In both of the cases we are using the fluid. In both of the cases we are using the fluid, but their characteristic difference of the two systems are different. Okay, the characteristics of these two fluids are different. In one case, in case of the hydraulic system, we are using oil, and in case of the pneumatic system, we are using the compressed air. So what are the differences between these two, and what are the specific characteristics of using these two? So we just have to keep in the mind. Okay. So the pneumatic system, just remember everyone, it is very important, and it may be asked to your interview. It may ask to your anywhere else, because this is that much important. This is that much important. Just keep in the mind. I'm going to discuss the differences between the pneumatic and the hydraulic, and which system is better. You just have to understand, right? So if you are talking about the pneumatic system, you know, I already told you pneumatic system are fire and explosion proof. I already told you pneumatic system is free from fire hazards and any kind of the accident. Pneumatic system are fire and explosion proof. That's why I already told you it is greatly adapted. It is greatly adapted in the mines, coal mines, where the possibility of CH4 extraction is very popular or very common. Yeah, somebody is asking something. Hello, is it audible? Is it audible?
Voice break.
1 minute, please. 1 minute. I'm going to connect it by my mobile so that this. Okay. Now is it audible? Now is it audible? Yes, students.
Sir, break हो रही है.
1 minute.
Break हो रही है.
This might be a network issue. That's why I opened my, yeah. Why it is automatically disconnected? I already have connected with my mobile phone. You know, sometimes the network connection is not stable. Okay. Again, I'm going to share your screen. Okay. Yeah. May I proceed further? Is it audible now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So, what I said to you, I'm going to make a comparison between the pneumatic system and hydraulic system. Which one is better and why it is better, right? Which one is better and why it is better? So we must have to know what are the advantages associated with, what are the advantages associated with this system, right? So first of all, I would like to start with the pneumatic system. So I already told you in the previous classes that pneumatic systems are the fire and the explosion proof. Pneumatic systems are fire and explosion proof, whereas you know hydraulic systems are not, unless non-flammable liquid is used. Okay, so I already told you why it is fire explosion proof. That is the property of the pneumatic system. That's why we are using it to the coal mines or the mining area, because you know in mining area during the extractions there is very common practice that CH4 will be extracted there. So if the fire hazard material or fire hazard system will be there, that might be suffering from any kind of unwanted accidents. Okay, unwanted accident, right? So that's why pneumatic system is used in the mining. Why? Because the system is fire and explosion proof. While in the case of the hydraulic system, I already told you, hydraulic system is not a fire and explosion proof. Okay, unless non-flammable liquid is used. And you know what is our intention? I already discussed with you. If you people have remembered it, that's why I told you. In case of the hydraulic system, we are using those kind of oil which is having the higher temperature on which it burns, which is very high from the working range temperature. It must be very high from the working range temperature. So we just have to keep in the mind. You just have to keep in the mind. Let us suppose if we are using the same liquid at the place where you know the CH4 extraction is very common. That is the reason. That is only the reason why I said you to use the pneumatic system in the coal mines or any sump area where the CH4 is very common in practice, right? And while in the case of the hydraulic system, you know we are using the hydraulic oil, and hydraulic oil is flammable. So always our intention should be focused to use those kind of oil whose burning temperature will be the too much above the working temperature, so that the fire hazard will not cause. So that the fire hazard will not takes place. Fire hazard will not takes place, right? Okay. So secondly, I'm talking about, if you're talking about pneumatic system, no return pipe are required. No return pipe are used. Why? When air is used. Why? Because it is available in plenty. It is available in free of cost. It is available, readily available everywhere. Okay. Whereas the return pipes are needed into the hydraulic system. So just remember all those differences what I'm telling you. Okay. So the normal operating pressure of the pneumatic system is very much lower than. Just keep in the mind. The normal operating pressure of pneumatic system, which is very much lower than the hydraulic system. I already told you. Twice, I already told you it is nearly 1/10 of pneumatic system. Let us suppose we are having the hydraulic system which is having the maximum temperature is 100 bar. So with reference to this hydraulic system, the system what we are using is the pneumatic that may have the ranging from the 10 to 20 bar pressure, right? So just keep in the mind the operating pressure of pneumatic system is very much lower than the hydraulic system. Clear? Then come to the next. Pneumatic systems are insensitive to temperature changes. Pneumatic systems are insensitive to temperature changes. In contrary to the hydraulic system, or in contrast to the hydraulic system, in which the fluid friction due to the viscosity, it depends greatly. You are getting what I'm telling? Okay. So just keep in the mind, pneumatic system are insensitive of the temperature changes. Okay, while, is it audible? Is it audible?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. So what I'm saying, pneumatic system are insensitive to the temperature changes. So whatever
Yes.
the temperature changes, let us
Sir.
suppose we are working in a summer season, we are working in the winter season, we are working in a rainy season. Nothing will happen. Nothing will be make changes in the system. But if you are talking about the hydraulic system, fluid friction, they are sensitive to the temperature. Why? Fluid friction due to the viscosity, and it depends on the temperature. Viscosity. You might have studied into the heat and mass transfer subject. HMT में आप पढ़ चुके हैं. You have already gone through in HMT that if you are in case of the fluid, if you are going to increase the temperature, if you are going to operate at the high temperature, the viscosity may be decreasing one by one. Viscosity may be decreasing one by one. You are getting what I'm telling you? Okay. So the characteristics of the viscosity you are knowing. If you are going to increase the temperature of the, system, okay. So in that case, what will be the result? The result will what? Result will, if you are going to increase the temperature, or if you are going to increase the temperature, operating temperature or hydraulic system, okay, hydraulic system. So what will be the results? The oil may lose their viscosity. जैसे जैसे टेम्परेचर बढ़ाएंगे तो ऑयल की विस्कोसिटी क्या हो जाएगी? कम हो जाएगी. आप जानते हो ना, फ्लूइड के केस में ऑयल की विस्कोसिटी कम हो जाती है, जबकि यही अगर इफ यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट इन द केस ऑफ द गैसेस, so that may have increased. Okay, so just keep in the mind. So fluid friction due to the viscosity, which depends on the temperature, right? And normally operating temperature for pneumatic and hydraulic system are pneumatic temperature, the pneumatic temperature ranging from 5 to 60 degrees centigrade in case of the pneumatic system. While we are talking about, if we are talking about the hydraulic system, they are minimum 20 to 70 degree of temperature range, 20 degree to 70 degree of temperature range on which it is working. Because we are using the oil, and oil is having the friction due to their viscosity, and that may be the temperature rise. And in air compression system or in a pneumatic system, once we are going to compress the air into the compressor, that due to the high pressure, the temperature may enhance. That may cause. And the normal operating pressure of pneumatic system, I already told you, normal operating pressure of pneumatic system is very much lower than the hydraulic system. I already told you. In case of the pressure, if you are talking about pressure में क्या होता है, let us suppose अगर 100 बार pressure पे अगर hydraulic system काम कर रहा है, so that pressure may be 10 bar. That pressure may be the 10 bar pressure in pneumatic system, right? So if we are talking about the accuracy, and if we are talking about the quality, with respect to the quality, so the accuracy of the pneumatic actuator is very poor. Accuracy of the pneumatic actuator is poor at the low velocity. Let us suppose if you are running the machine at the low velocity, their accuracy will be poor. Whereas the accuracy of the hydraulic actuator, may be made satisfactory at all the temperature, all the velocities, So just this is one of the important differences between them. What I said, accuracy of the pneumatic actuator is very poor at low velocities, right? Very poor at the low velocity. Whereas the accuracy of the hydraulic system is entirely constant if once you are using any of the velocity ranges, right? If you are talking about the output power, so the output power of pneumatic system are considerably less. Output power of the pneumatic system are comparatively less than those of the hydraulic system. Of course, that's why if you are talking about the high power transmission or high power work, so of course we are going to opt, hydraulic system in place of the pneumatic system, because pneumatic system cannot work at not work with the higher, not work with the higher, not work with the higher pressure ranges, not work with the not work with the high output, right? So in pneumatic system, if you're talking about the external leakage, if you're talking about leakage is concerned, okay. So if you're talking about the external leakage, so it is permissible to a certain extent. Why it is permissible? Why it is permissible to the certain extent? Because if the leakage will take place, I'm talking about the external leakage. In pneumatic system, we are talking about the external leakage. Okay, so external leakage is permissible to a certain extent, but internal leakage must be avoided. Why? If internal leakage will take place, why? Because if internal leakage will take place, so the effective pressure difference is very small, and that will not work with the accuracy. That is not work with the accuracy. While we are talking about hydraulic system, internal leakage is permissible to a certain extent, but external leakage must be avoided. Just keep in the mind, in case of the pneumatic system, external leakage is permissible up to the some extent, while internal leakage is not permissible, because if the internal leakage will take place, so the desired pressure, or you can say the effective pressure difference will be very small, and the machine cannot work with the accuracy. So now if we are talking about in the hydraulic system, in case of the hydraulic system, internal leakage may be allowed, but external leakage cannot be allowed at any cost. Why? If the external leakage will take place, in that case, what will be the result? So in case of the external leakage, oil will be sprayed to the shop floor, and that can hamper our, hygiene of the floor area. The oil may be lost. We cannot reuse the oil because oil is not available free of cost. We have to purchase the oil. Okay, it is not available readily. It is not available in plenty. It is not available free of cost. That's what we just have to keep. In the mind. We just have to keep in the mind. Internal leakage may be admitted to some respect rather than to focus on the external leakage. So external leakage should not be allowed. Why? If the external leakage will take place, the oil will be getting lost, or it will be sprayed on the shop floor area, and the whole hygiene of the shop will be there spoiled. Okay, and now in that condition, it will be the very challenging for the shop manager or the shop people to control those kind of ambiguities, which is caused due to the leakage of oil. So what are the differences I must have to go through? You just keep in the mind. Okay, you just keep in the mind, right? You just keep in the mind.